another beautiful Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for joining us on Nationwide today. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Now let's begin with the president's visit to Russia. President Muhammadu Buhari is in Sochi, Russia, the Russian Federation, ahead of the Russia-Africa Summit beginning on Wednesday. The summit, expected to last 3 days, will focus on exploring and expanding opportunities in security, trade and investment, as well as science and technology. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The Nigerian Air Force 001 aircraft conveying President Muhammadu Buhari and his entourage arrived Sochi International Airport at 12:30 Tuesday morning local time. The president, accompanied by the governors of Ekiti, Gombe and Zamfara states, was received by a high-powered Russian government delegation led by the mayor of the city of Sochi as well as the Nigerian ambassador to Russia. Also at the airport were the Minister of Foreign Affairs, National Security Advisor, and other senior government officials. At the Russia-Africa Summit, President Buhari will join other African and Russian leaders to bring fresh perspectives on some global issues and challenges like nuclear technology, energy development, digital transformation, environment, technical security, mining and steel, education, agriculture, infrastructure, and development strategies.
More than 30 heads of state and prime ministers have pledged their commitment to be here. President Muhammadu Buhari is part of those leaders that have accepted to be here. So it's an important one for our continent. It is important for Russia. At the end of this summit, it is hoped that Nigeria and African countries would put together for themselves a new security architecture for the continent that should hopefully, take from the Russian experience in protecting cities against terrorism, in protecting our borders against infiltration by criminals, inflow of weapons, of drugs, smuggling, and illegal explosives. So security is important. We obviously would expect developments in trade and investment, which lies at the heart of the meeting itself. And such matters that may also impinge on culture, identity, and sovereignty of nations on the continent.
President Buhari is scheduled to meet with President Vladimir Putin of Russia to further strengthen relations in security, trade and investment, as well as building partnership that will enhance Nigeria's huge gas potentials.
Nigerians will not forget Russian support for the unification of Nigeria, the support they gave to Nigeria during the civil war years, at a time when some of our traditional friends had deserted us. Russia is still doing so much for us, dealing with the procurement of military hardware, in tackling the insurgency, particularly in the northeast. It is important that President Buhari is here at a time when the effort is being made to push out permanently the insurgency in the northeast and infiltration by Islam in West Africa groups. So I believe that a lot will be discussed on matters of military procurement. The Russians have achieved perhaps the greatest success anybody could using the gas resources available to their own country. Nigeria would be talking to Russians on possibilities in enhancing and utilizing our enormous gas resources. There'll be discussion on power, iron, and steel. Don't forget Ajaokuta. So all of these things are important in the view of the president, and they will be put on the table.
An African business forum, which will bring together African and Russian business leaders, will also be held towards enhancing Russian investments in Africa and promoting African business interest in the Russian Federation. From Sochi, Russia, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And back home, a federal high court sitting in Abuja has granted a request by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for the former chairman of the Pension Reforms Task Team, Abdulrasheed Maina, and his son to temporarily forfeit 22 landed properties to the federal government, Olabode Arewa reports.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission filed an ex parte motion seeking an order of the court that Abdulrasheed Maina and Faisal, his son, should temporarily forfeit the said landed properties, allegedly being the proceeds of fraud. The 20 properties in question were alleged to have been purchased in the two names. In the ex parte motion, counsel to the FCC, Salisu Abubakar, indicated that the properties were located in Abuja, Borno, Kaduna, Sokoto, Kano, and Nasarawa states. Justice Folashade Giwa Ogunbanjo, while granting the order, directed that the interim forfeiture notice be publicized in a national daily within 14 days. This is to enable anyone with an interest in the 23 properties across the country to show cause why they should not be permanently forfeited to the federal government. The court also ordered that the processes should be served on the defendants before the 19th of November, the next adjourned date. Abdulrasheed Maina is being alleged of corruptly enriching himself as the head of the Pension Reforms Task Team. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Cordial relationship between the executive and the Ninth National Assembly, if sustained, could redefine Nigeria's democratic practices and principles in the overall interest and development of the country. Conference of Civil Society of Nigeria says already this gesture is stimulating them to key into the Nigerian project as the torchbearer of the society. Saliu Abdullahi tells us more.
Political observers believe that from inception of the current administration, activities by the executive and the legislative arms of government are indicative of the change most Nigerians desired to see. Reviving Nigeria's budget cycle back to January to December regime and the commitment shown by the lawmakers so far to ensure its speedy implementation is a clear demonstration to that. Sustaining this synergy is what prompted the conference to develop a strategy for budget tracking, consistency project implementation, and promote robust relationship between the public and the lawmakers.
We have the duty to furnish the National Assembly with very critical profile and information that we have that will seek to dent the integrity that the National Assembly has or is trying to build very recently. We will be submitting reports to the Office of the Speaker relating to any verifications or findings that we make as an organization.
Nigerian civil society with membership across rural and urban communities described the 9th National Assembly as a promising arm of government. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
To nation building now, the absence of a strong sense of history and responsibility among the political class is an issue that needs to be addressed. Taking a critical look at the topic, nation building and Nigeria's political class on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, discussants suggest unity and selflessness of citizens as a first step to advancing the nation. Ekemini Williams reports.
Guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria are of the opinion that the deep-seated divide in Nigeria, depicted in the continuous inter-ethnic rivalry and struggle for power and resources, has posed a challenge to federalism over time. This they strongly blame on conflict of interests between political elites and the people.
I think we need to recognize our history from colonial rule, the orientation our elites acquired, and how that orientation also became very important for them in advancing their material interest. Instead of developing the nation, instead of creating production, instead of ensuring equity in access to opportunities.
People already think that those who are in authority are thieves in the first place. So they've gone there to feather their nest. Rather than wait for any service delivery, which they believe is not coming, they think whatever they can take from them immediately will be sufficient for them to have their own share of the national cake.
In charting a new course, discussants call for a review of the electoral law and deliberate establishment of institutions as a legal weapon to check in the greed and self-centeredness among the political class.
If you look at the early days of the post-independence era, you find out that the people were elected based on their integrity. We've been talking about Tafa Balewa and Co. to office, not because they are voted by the people. They go into office based on who actually, wanted them to be in office.
Cut down the amount of welfareism, you call it salary or privilege or allowance or whatever, cut it down and make the offices unattractive. You can bring as well as 100 senators from one state, doesn't matter. All it requires that let the people be properly represented.
Leaders have to be generous. Leaders have to behave like a herdman. He would rather, have his cows, have good pasture, good water, and then he stays with hunger.
The elites are to make a conscious effort to govern with a purpose for the future, while the economic class is also encouraged to work towards national loyalty. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigerian youths have been challenged to avail themselves of the opportunities for gainful employment and sustainable livelihood. The youths under the auspices of the All Progressives Congress are in the forefront of championing this cause at a forum in Abuja. Saliu Abdullahi has details.
Records from the Independent National Electoral Commission during the 2019 general elections in Nigeria shows that the youth constitute more than 50% of the number of registered voters. These people, though of APC extraction, form part of that young population. The forum is to empower them psychologically and expose them to various opportunities that can make them better citizens.
So that we can go to the various organizations and harness those schemes, and so that we can put our efforts towards it and see how we can develop as a nation.
People like us who are already holding very important positions in government, it behooves on us to give something back to the party.
As the government is trying its best to provide an avenue to key in the youth into the economic prosperity, the youth also should struggle.
And if we sit and fold our hands, then definitely we are not going anywhere. And I think that's what made the best out of this gathering.
Stakeholders say sharing ideas such as these is a veritable platform towards building future leaders.
That the government on its part has indeed taken numerous viable steps and indeed interventions.
We will try and advise the youth to be innovative, creative, so that we can be able to raise our hands for the government to carry on.
As a youth, know where to put in and be carried along.
We should go back home and re-engage ourselves, reactivate ourselves.
The interface provides opportunities for the youth to get first-hand information about government activities so far. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Let's not pause from here as we join Dotun Ogunyemi in our Lagos studio for more reports. Hello, Dotun.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and welcome to Lagos. We begin on a security note where the Nigerian Navy has restored its commitment to safer maritime operations, and this was evident at the graduation of officers of Long Course 24 of the Nigerian Navy ship Kora in Lagos. Lane Lineke reports.
These 27 officers, drawn from the various units of the Nigerian Navy, were trained on the 4 naval specialist executive branches in order to meet the operational and manpower requirements of the service. The training, which is multifaceted, is for officers between the ranks of lieutenant and lieutenant commanders who have successfully completed the sub-lieutenant technical course. Nigerian Navy says it will not relent in creating safer and secured maritime space for maritime commerce to thrive.
The professional knowledge you have acquired in this citadel of professionalism have molded you to be capable to be able to maintain and fight the platforms.
The Commandant NNS Kora explained that the graduates were taken through maritime and contemporary operations to develop the proficiency to be versatile and capable of serving in any capacity as seamen officers.
As you go back to the field, you'll be required to combine practical exigencies with what we have taught you. Your specialist training has laid a foundation for you.
Over 30 officers participated in the Long Officers Course 24. Only 27 completed the course. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
I'm moving on now to judiciary, where the immediate past governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, has been cross-examined before Justice Chukwujeku Aneke of the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos. Fayose was in court on allegation of money laundering and fraud charges by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to the tune of 6.9 billion naira. Abolore Ogbara reports.
Fayose is being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on 11-count charge. He was first arraigned on October 22, 2018, before Justice Mojisola Olatoregu alongside a company, Spotless Investment Limited. He had pleaded not guilty to the charges and was granted bail on October 24, 2018, in the sum of 50 million naira with sureties in like sum. Fayose was subsequently rearranged before Justice Chukwujeku Aneke on July 2nd. He had also pleaded not guilty to the charges and was allowed to continue on the earlier bail granted while the case was adjourned for trial. EFCC counsel Adebisi Adeni presented a prosecution witness, Lawrence Akonde. The witness introduced himself as a staff of Zenith Bank PLC. Akonde told the court that he received a call from the first defendant informing him that there will be a business transaction in Akure. He said that at that point, he called one Biodun Oshode, a zonal head of the bank in Akure, to handle the transaction. He also told the court that he received a call from the defendants to pick up box of money from Akure Airport in June 2014. According to Akonde, Fayose maintained 3 accounts with the bank, namely Spotless Investment, the privateer, and Fayose's personal account. Defense counsel Ola Olanikwekun asked the witness if he met the former governor for the first time in the course of the transaction. On the cross-examination, however, the witness told the court that his bank had solicited for a patronage from the defendant. Justice Aneke, however, adjourned the continuation of trial in Lagos. Abolore Ogbara, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues after the break. Do stay with us.
The new edition of TV Guide is out, exclusively taking a look at the traditional television and new media. Are they comparable or complementary? Media industry players give perspective on the trends, progress, challenges, and the way forward. Find out on this compelling edition of TV Guide. Expository interviews with stars of the team within our space. Becky Madojemo of NTA, Tibe Umore of AIT, Nifemi Oguntai of TVC, and a host of others. TV Guide, your indispensable companion. Also feature Yamadina.
I'm the CEO, Managing Director of Yamadina Sister Restaurant. I do to serve. Shut up your mouth. Let me finish.
A TV drama series on NTA. Let's get to meet the characters behind Yamadina. This edition also presents exciting features on tourism, culture, entertainment, sports, health, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendors near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Achieving zero hunger in the country, games, challenges, and prospects is the focus this week on NTA Tuesday Live. The program at 10:30 p.m. this Tuesday promises to be incisive and informative. Don't miss it.
An award that
has succeeded to pool a galaxy of stars from the north, south, east to the west, and central Africa, and also those that are domiciled beyond the shores of Africa under one roof.
Was made in Africa with the birth of the first television station, WNTV, in Ibadan, Nigeria, on October 31, 1959.
I have great pleasure in formally launching Western Nigeria Television, first in Africa.
Television in Africa clocked 60 this year. It's time to celebrate this remarkable achievement. Various activities are lined up: photo exhibition, a colloquium, public presentation of broadcasting books, and a gala night. Be part of these events, powered by Foundation for Ibadan Television Anniversary Celebrations, FITAC,
and supported by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit 2019 holds on the 6th to the 8th of November 2019. The summit will take place at the Banquet Hall Presidential Villa, Abuja, Nigeria. Theme: leveraging diaspora resources for economic growth. Sectors: agribusiness, education, training, healthcare, entertainment, sports, hospitality and tourism, infrastructure, real estate, manufacturing, extractive industries, telecommunications, technology and innovation, waste management and environmental remediation, transportation. For registration, visit www.ndis.gov.ng. For participation and sponsorship, please call 090-177-77008, 0817-2244-660. Convened by the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission.
Glad to know you're still there. Now to security. In yet another successful covert operation, the combined troops of 26th Task Force Brigade, 21 Special Armored Brigade and elements of Civilian Joint Task Force, while acting on a piece of intelligence, conducted a sting operation against some Boko Haram criminals hibernating around Pulka General Area of Gwoza Local Government Area of Borno State. In a statement by the Nigerian Army Operations Media Coordinator Colonel Aminu Ilyasu, the operation led to the arrest of 16 active Boko Haram members. Preliminary investigation revealed that some of the arrested suspects participated in the heinous attack on Pulka and Gwoza, including the barbaric execution of some Niger police personnel some time ago. 2 of the arrested Boko Haram criminals have been on the Nigerian Army Most Wanted Boko Haram list, earlier published on serials 41 and 90. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has commended the Theatre Commander, Operation Lafayette, Major General Olusegun Adeniyi, as well as the officers and men of Operation Lafayette for this commendable feat in service of their fatherland. And we're not done with security yet. The National Assembly is working closely with the Nigerian Army to step up operations and stem contemporary security challenges in parts of the country. This was the thrust of the visit of the National Assembly Joint Committee on Army to the Chief of Army Staff in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
The National Assembly Joint Committee on Army recently embarked on fact-finding visits to some Nigerian Army units and formations to assess ongoing operations, troops' welfare and existing platforms. This is to enhance the knowledge of the members of the 9th Assembly on the success and challenges confronting the Army in view of their role in combating emerging security threats.
The soldier doesn't complain. He normally obeys before he even complains, if any.
The legislators are here to further seek ways of supporting the formation to effectively address threats truncating socio-economic activities in the country.
Especially now that we are faced with humongous challenges in the security. For what we have seen so far,
We are very, very proud of the Nigerian Army.
You've taken the bold step by the proposal to have an independent or separate funding channel for the armed forces.
Details of the deliberations were held behind closed doors. From the Nigerian Army headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And the Police Service Commission has approved the appointment of 6 Deputy Inspectors General of Police, with 2 to proceed on pre-retirement leave. The remaining 4 are to replace the 4 retired DIGs and also form part of the IGP's management team made up of 7 DIGs. In a statement signed by Head Press and Public Relations, Ike Chukwani, the new DIGs are Abdul Dahiru Danwao, Lau Shehu, Adeyemi Samuel, Ogun, Jemi Lucy, Peter Babatunde Ogunyawo, all former AIGs, Alex Okpara, as well as Celestine Okoye and former CPs, DIG Ogun Jemi Lucy and DIG Okpara are to proceed on pre-retirement leave. The Commission approved the promotion of 14 Commissioners of Police to the rank of Assistant Inspectors General of Police. The Commission also approved the promotion of 230 Superintendents of Police to Chief Superintendents, 11 Deputy Superintendents of Police to Superintendents, and 211 Assistant Superintendents to Deputy Superintendents. 41 Inspectors were also promoted to ASP 1. Now, moving above their traditional role in providing solutions to critical issues facing the country were some of the issues put forward to think tanks in Nigeria at a strategic meeting facilitated by the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru in Abuja. Haman Jabani reports.
The coming together of the strategic think tanks constituted by the government is to review their roles and the extent to which they are relevant to policy process in the country, especially in the light of current contemporary challenges. Questions like to what extent can they formulate alternative policy choice, useful and relevant to government, and what are the ways for repositioning them for effective engagement in public policy are expected to be answered. Vice President Professor Yemi Osibanjo and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who were both represented, lead in the process.
If a think tank is not contributing to the policy debate, which is key, especially in Nigeria where we have priority areas that need to be addressed, then that think tank is not being effective. So this event becomes really critical. It's not a matter of chance, but of urgent necessity.
I assure you that the government of President Muhammadu Buhari remains very receptive to genuine inputs from our great minds that will move this country to greater heights.
And it has become necessary for all.
Now, the construction of a flyover bridge in Romoba community in Port Harcourt has begun with the flag off by the governor of the state, Nelson Wike, and his Oyo State counterpart, Oluwaseyi Makinde. The project, which is part of the state government's infrastructure development plan, is geared towards job creation for the teeming youths in the state, prefer solution to pedestrian challenges, as well as improve the aesthetic outlook of the state.
Projects have nothing to do with weather. If you say rain, I paid you under rainy season. So you too must work under rainy season. So I don't want to hear any excuses at all. It must be done.
This energy and momentum must be maintained.
Wike also urged traditional rulers to ensure that the contractors do not face any challenge from the youths of the community. The project, which is expected to be completed within 16 months, will be supervised by the state governor. The House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values and the Ministry of Information and Culture have recommitted themselves to collaborating more towards effective, better improvement in information dissemination in the country. Adebola Brooksland Sunday reports.
The minister and his team were received by the chairman of the committee, Olusegun Odebunmi, who in his remarks said information management is critical to national cohesion and development.
Honorable colleagues, invited guests.
In this regard, the chairman promised effective oversight to ensure Nigerians get the best from the ministry and its agencies.
This committee will oversight all agencies under its jurisdiction without any other witch hunting. The approach will also be a police patrol method, preventive in nature and not fire alarm, that is detective.
That remarks obviously pleased the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who said the familiarization meeting will go a long way in helping the committee to understand the challenges of the ministry and help fast-track solutions to enhance productivity.
The committee is actually meant to facilitate and help the ministry. That is the purpose of the committee. Even when the committee comes to do oversight, they are not coming there with the purpose of punishing anybody. They are coming there with the purpose of listening to our complaints, and where we are not doing too well, let us know. Where we are doing well, encourage us.
The Information and Culture Ministry and its agencies are scheduled to defend their 2020 budgetary proposal at the National Assembly Wednesday, 23rd October 2019. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Away from information dissemination, the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has neutralized several Islamic State of West Africa province fighters at Boka Meram on the fringes of Lake Chad in the northern part of Borno State. In a statement by NAF Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, the operation was executed on the 21st of October 2019 based on credible intelligence reports that indicated a resumption of the use of the location to provide logistics support to the terrorists using fishing activities as a cover. The ATF therefore dispatched its attack aircraft to engage designated areas within the settlement where more than 35 terrorists were observed. The aircrafts scored accurate hits on the target area, leading to the neutralization of several ISOP fighters as well as the destruction of some of the structures. Still on security, the Police Service Commission has approved. Still on security, 81 suspected kidnappers, robbers and internet fraudsters have been paraded by the Niger Police Force. Doing their reports that amongst them is the notorious Ibrahim Issa, otherwise known as Danny, and his gang who operate along the Abuja-Kaduna highway.
One-time desperados now succumbing to the long arm of the law. 44 years old Ernest Ebo'o is a graduate of microbiology and MBA holder who claimed to be an orthopedic doctor with the United Nations. His job is to identify unsuspecting female partners and defraud them online.
The requirement is you should pay some money for your insurance, for your life and health insurance. It's $1,050. After that one, you ask her to pay for your flight ticket. $3,000.
Another case presented to the press is the Shuaibu Kaduna kidnap and armed robbery gang who operate along the Abuja-Kaduna highway.
Okay, yes, he confirmed it that he is the member of the gang that blocked the road on 26th of August and killed the police inspector.
Operatives here also extended their investigative and operational activities to Taraba State, where another kidnap gang numbering about 21 were all rounded up. That gang stands today totally decimated.
There were other cases of murder, kidnapping, illegal possession of firearms, amongst others, all of which were made possible through surveillance and intelligence gathering.
As a society and as a people, we must genuinely and collaboratively work together to attack and deal with the very root causes of crime and criminality in our country.
Exhibits recovered from the suspects include 10.1 million naira ransom, military uniforms, laptops, cars, and ammunitions. Doing Dia NT News.
Let's now talk science and technology. Nigeria is set to compete with technologically advanced nations in the area of science and technology in the nearest future. This is because of the exhibition of some scientific performance of students identified in the ongoing NTA ETV Science and Arts Children Expo 2019. Ikechukwu Undukwe reports.
Mohammed Tijani Iliasu of the Mutar Adnan Day Science College, Kano, Oyelowo Ololuwa of ICAST International College of Arts, Science and Technology, Oyo State, and Christian Asha of Government Secondary School, Lafikbe, Ebonyi State, are upcoming artists and scientists trying to fix the issues of renewable energy, environmental degradation, and waste-to-wealth technology in Nigeria.
Our project is on biogas system for household cooking. It is a source of renewable energy, which is from methane gas. Methane gas is from organic matter, from waste materials like kitchen waste.
We convert slake lime obtained as a byproduct from the manufacture of ethane, that is commonly known as acetylene gas, to caustic soda.
I invented a thermodynamics biogas generator. The generator is beyond generating electricity. It can be used to power other heavy equipment because it uses biogas from cow dung and then palm wine. In the absence of cow dung, you can use palm wine that has fermented.
For the GMNTA ETV Esosa Ekponwe, the future of Nigeria is bright with young, talented scientists across the nation.
Know some children, they have some hidden talents. This is an avenue for them to come to bed, to bring up what they have in them. If you go around, you see one little girl, from a picture she gets a drawing out of you and looks exactly like you.
Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, was on hand to inspect the children exhibition to boost their morale. In Abuja, Ikechukwu Ndukwe, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Ikechukwu. Sokoto State to start artificial insemination to boost livestock production. Musa Abubakar is standing by to tell us more on this and other reports from that zone. Hello, Musa.
And welcome to Sokoto. Sokoto State Veterinary Hospital will soon start artificial insemination for home-breed animals to improve livestock production. Commissioner of Animal Health and Fisheries Development, Professor Abdul Qadir Usman Junaidu, stated this while distributing equipment to zonal veterinary clinics across the state. Mohammed Nasser has the report.
Sokoto is one of the states in the country blessed with the large herds of livestock, particularly the Sokoto Godali, which has high value in the international markets. In view of the emerging animal diseases that often affect livestock and sometimes spread to human, the state government has taken the bold step to address the issue. Veterinary equipment that includes laboratory equipment for X-ray, ultrasound, ambulance, and vaccines were purchased and distributed to zonal veterinary clinics.
The intention is to make sure that when we crossbreed with other breeds, like the ones we have brought in from South Africa, we'll be able to produce at least 10 to 30 liters per milking. Now, the number of animals we brought in from South Africa is not adequate enough to cover every farmer. But with artificial insemination, you can be able to have the breed you want through this crossbreeding, and you get your own new breed.
The equipment distributed are expected to assist in the promotion and improvement of veterinary clinics, livestock production, enhance economy, and provide job opportunities. Stakeholders applauded the state government's effort to upgrade veterinary clinics, which they believe will address health challenges affecting animals in Sokoto State. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
Improving capacity of information officers and journalists is said to be vital for effective information dissemination in the society. These were submissions of speakers at a workshop in Sokoto. The report.
Nura Aliu is an information officer who has little knowledge of effective communication and presentation skills. In this one-day workshop, organized for information officers, journalists, and social media practitioners, provides opportunity for Nura and others to enhance their communication and presentation skills. This is in a bid to promote better information dissemination in the society.
But invite people who have been part of you, who are professionals, and can give you practical information and experiences.
Pictures are enriched by how much the writer knows about the subject matter and all issues related to the subject matter.
If the track is long, is what can give power to what the person is saying.
Accuracy and fairness, which we are all aware, we have to be accurate and fair in our reportage of issues.
It helps me in my work. When I go to the house, I will know how to write a picture story.
I pray something like this will be frequent.
A communique on the need to regulate the activities of social media, amongst other recommendations, was presented at the end of the workshop.
That's our contribution from Sokoto. The Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja.
Thank you so much, Musa. The Buhari Media Organization has advised the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, to avoid any action that would truncate smooth academic exercise nationwide in the name of protest against President Muhammadu Buhari's insistence on full implementation of the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System, IPPIS. The group said ASU should not allow itself to be seen as saboteurs of a scheme that is bound to weed out ghost workers and improve the efficiency of payroll administration in public universities. The group noted that the scheme had saved the country more than 330 billion naira since 2017. In a statement signed by its chairman, Nei Akinsiju, BMO said ASU's plan for a shutdown over IPPIS could easily be interpreted as corruption fighting back. BMO accused ASU of mobilizing its members for a strike even when records show that federal government had agreed to take the peculiarities of the university system into consideration. Nigeria is blessed with rich human resources, but poor management of these resources is one of the challenges facing the nation. Nigerian Institute of Public Relations says this has resulted in the underdevelopment of Nigeria and lack of good successive plan for young people, while briefing the media in Abuja.
It is on this ground that the NIP has put together the annual conference of this capital chapter. It is therefore important to kickstart the process of national debate through provision of platform such as this to enable all stakeholders generate insights in the area of the type of leadership Nigeria must look out for.
With the theme, The Leadership Question, Search for 21st Century Leaders, the NIPR is joining efforts with well-meaning Nigerians in raising the standard, re-engineering the process and refocusing the direction of leadership for the development of Nigeria. To other matters now, the legislature is often regarded as the nucleus of every democracy. With this understanding, therefore, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies is using its second matriculation for HND1 students in official reporting to bring to the fore collective responsibility of officials towards the development of legislative institutions in Nigeria. Kenneth Nanim reports.
As an academic and research institution affiliated to the University of Benin, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies was also established to provide training and other technical assistance to the legislators and their aides, bridging professional gaps in the activities of Nigeria's legislative institutions.
It is a consolidation of the effort of the Institute to provide a holistic and integrated capacity building programs for all aspects of the legislative functions in Nigeria.
That I will pay due respect and obedience to the Institute.
having been admitted into UNIBEN for the 2019-2020 academic section. The 11 matriculants and other 24 students already in HND2 for the same course are future professionals, expected to change the narrative in the legislative process.
Higher National Diploma in Official Reporting is to produce knowledgeable and skilled personnel capable of providing technical services for effective coverage and reporting of activities and proceedings of government and other institutions.
The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies is also working in collaboration with the National Assembly for effective service delivery and for the sustenance of Nigeria's democracy. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
And away from education, 2 sets of HP Pavilion all-in-one 8th generation computers for editing has been donated to the Nigerian Television Authority, ORCA. Dr. Obiora Okonkwo, who made the donation, said this is to enable the station meet up with challenges of digitization. Jane Francis Obi has details.
The donation is sequel to NTA management's official visit to the philanthropist Dr. Obiora to seek partnership. This has paid off with the presentation of the 2 editing systems. Speaking on the reasons for the gesture, Dr. Obiora emphasized the need to assist local stations in discharge of their duties.
And I made my promise because I see the importance of the work that is being done for this community. This is how, from here, we are connected to the NTA network, which has a wide transmission.
The General Manager NTA ORCA, Olaide Ajala, on behalf of the management team, described the gesture as apt, as the computer sets will no doubt improve the station's performance. She commended the donor for keeping faith with his promise to the station.
Friend of the NTA, you are here today not just to visit us, but to redeem a play.
Some operational staff are happy as their work will now be stress-free.
This system is coming at a time that we needed it most, and so we appreciate him for this gift.
It's a prayer answered for us in NTA ORCA because we are really in dire need of an editing suite, so it will help to facilitate our work here.
Dr. Obiora Okonkwo is an indigene of Ogidi in Anambra State, an employer of labor and CEO of Dome Entertainment Abuja. In Oka, Jane Francis Obi, NTA News.
Imo State Governor set to end open defecation. Let's now join Mina in Enugu for more reports.
Many thanks, Elizabeth. Good afternoon and welcome to Enugu. In accordance with the federal government's policy towards achieving water, sanitation and hygiene for healthy living in Nigeria, the Imo State Governor Emeka Ihedioha has set in motion a framework for ending open defecation in the state. Governor Ihedioha made this known at a hand-washing demonstration event for school children in Owerri. Kate Osunwa has more.
The importance of hand washing cannot be overemphasized, as it is a means of curbing the spread of germs and diseases. In the light of this, the UNICEF and other UN agencies in Nigeria are collaborating with the Imo State government towards sensitizing the people, especially the vulnerable groups, on the need for proper hand washing. The Imo State Governor Emeka Ihedioha, while outlining efforts being made towards promoting personal hygiene among school children, says more advocacy will be embarked upon before enforcement of the law against open defecation in the state.
The essence of this declaration is to forget the right habits of hand washing in our populace, particularly our children and women.
The Commissioner for Public Utilities assures that the measures being put in place to encourage hand washing will be effectively implemented to promote healthy living.
The moment we finish it here, we will now call the transition chairman and then ask them to take it down to the communities.
Teachers and students at the event promised to spread the message of proper hand washing in order to achieve the desired goal. In Owerri, Kate Osunwa, NTA News.
Still on health, women have been advised to take issues of their health more seriously by engaging in regular medical check and routine exercise. Wife of the Enugu State Governor, Mrs. Monica Ugwanyi, gave the advice at the Enugu Women Monthly Prayer Rally October edition, where the women were lectured on the incidence of breast cancer. Susan Eze has details.
Disturbed by the incidences of breast and cervical cancer among women, Mrs. Ugwuanyi said she took the decision to use the October prayer rally to create awareness and campaign against cancer. She pointed out that early detection increases chances of survival. Hence, she enjoined women to go for regular checkups and to disseminate information about the disease to others. Mrs. Ugwuanyi advised women to shun harmful traditional practices that worsen their case. Rather, observed symptoms like breast lumps should be referred to hospitals for expert diagnosis and treatment. Lectures by medical experts, prayers, and other empowerment programs by Mrs. Ugwuanyi's pet project, Ugo Touch of Life Foundation, all enriched the program, which drew women from across the states. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
The people of Ogbaru Council area of Anambra State are calling on the federal government to officially recognize the state as one of the oil-producing states in Nigeria. Chineye Nwoye reports that the people spoke to the press through one of their spokespersons.
Ogbaru, a serene community which is predominantly made of farmers, is one of the communities in Anambra State with large deposits of oil and gas. Oil exploration commenced in some of these communities, which also include Anyamelu, Aguleri, Anam, and Oba in 2014. The people who decried lack of amenities in their area are calling on multinational companies operating in their communities to come to the drawing board for an environmental impact assessment. According to the spokesperson, the people embarked on consultation to ensure that peace reigns between the multinational companies and the host community.
Whatever we have to do, we have to do it right. We started with this consultation because we are peace-loving people, and we know that with peace we can achieve our goal.
The youths who expressed confidence in President Buhari's administration are appealing to the government to, as a matter of urgency, address the issue for the well-being of the citizens. The group had earlier paid a visit to the council chairman of Ogbaru Council area, as well as the traditional ruler of the community. Ogbaru local government area is made up of 15 communities. In Enugu, Chineye Nwoye, NTN News.
And that's it from Enugu. Nationwide continues in Abuja after this commercial break.
The NTA and the village headmaster family are pleased to announce the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the award-winning Village Headmaster television series. Monday, 28 October 2019, command performances of the Village Headmaster at the Terraculture Arena, Victoria Island, Lagos. Red carpet, 5 p.m. and live performance, 6 p.m. Tuesday, 29th October 2019 at 10 a.m. Roundtable discussion at Freedom Park, Broad Street, Lagos. Theme: Drama, a tool for national development. Join the NTA and the Village Headmaster family as we celebrate this Golden Jubilee. Attendance at both events is strictly by invitation. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
Not so fast. Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down. Do you have a job where you're going to?
No, but someone is arranging,
Listen, Alinko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. You know, I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
Thanks for staying tuned. Next is Sports Updates.
Following victories recorded by Nigeria on the continent and the world in Scrabble, Development Minister Sunday Dare has vowed to use the sport as a trigger to develop other mind games in the country. The minister re-echoed this when he received 2 trophies from the Nigerian Scrabble Federation team that emerged champions in the just-ended World Scrabble Championships in India.
We'll also bring you into our private funding. We're trying to raise private fund to be able to support our federations.
You try to celebrate your success first while you walk towards those challenges that you face before going there.
National coach Tammy Ikelo also emerged champion in the Indian Open Scrabble Championship with over 30 countries in participation. The Nigeria Referees Association says it is ready for the commencement of 2019-2020 Nigeria Professional Football League season November 3, following the conclusion of a week-long national fitness test for members at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja.
Everybody in the state, they are participating in their local matches. We only now to view them to make sure that they are off date. You know, anything you have to service yourself and prepare yourself for the season.
In golf, the ladies section of IVB International Golf and Country Club Abuja has reaffirmed its dedication to the development of more younger players after handicap 18 player Jumaid Abdullahi won the 20th closed tournament.
I want to use this opportunity to call on all Nigerian women to find time to join golfing and also to find time to do some exercise in order to keep fit.
Over 70 lady golfers participated in the competition. With Sports Update, Kenan Ima Abodike, NTA News.
And that's Nationwide today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Good evening.
Village.
Have you been thinking about coming to Nigeria? Then what are you waiting for? Come share in our wealth of vast resources. Come discover treasure. Come to where there's lots of business opportunities. Come to Nigeria. Nigeria, my nation, my pride.
I am a Nigerian. I am one in 5 Africans. I am a Nobel Prize winner, a soccer champion, a giant of literature, a musical icon. My roots lie in the dusty Sahel of the north, in the rich rainforests of the east, in the savanna plains of the west, and in the oil-filled swamps of the delta. My strength flows from the waters of the Niger and the Benue. Nigeria is my home. I am the voice of 200 tribes speaking more than 200 languages. I am the laughter of the world's happiest people. I am my brother's keeper. I am a child in one of the youngest nations on earth. I am the passion. I am the soul of a continent. I am a Nigerian.
Continue.